So, welcome to our masterclass all about building a rockstar cleaning team, because who doesn't want a rockstar cleaning team? I know I do. It's one of the most important parts of growing a cleaning business is learning to grow a team. So here we go. Here's my guide on how you can attract some real rock stars and figure out who they might be when you're recruiting, but also how you can create an amazing workplace that those rock stars will want to stay and do a great job in. So here we go. Before we start though, I've created a little poll here to ask, what is your biggest challenge with hiring or retraining great cleaners? Now, obviously this is a recording, so you're not going to be able to give me the feedback, but I would like you to think about what is your biggest challenge right now in hiring and retaining great cleaners. Is it finding reliable people in the first place? In which case you might want to start actually with one of the recruitment masterclasses that will talk in more detail than I'm going to go into in this masterclass about actually attracting the right people to your business. Is it keeping good cleaners long term? In which case, congratulations, you're absolutely in the right place, because I'm going to cover how to create a great workplace in order to keep cleaners long term. Is it going to be about motivating staff to do their best work? We're definitely going to cover that in the masterclass. Or is it creating a positive team culture? Again, perfect. This masterclass is going to be all about that. Is it about handling staff issues and conflict? Probably not, but if that's your biggest challenge, then there are some masterclasses in the training library on managing your team that you'll find really helpful. But actually, creating a really good work environment will help with finding the reliable people in the first place, keeping them, motivating them, having that really positive team culture also should lead to less staff issues and conflicts. So hopefully this masterclass will help with all of those challenges that most of us have at some time or other in our cleaning business. And you know what? Team culture in the cleaning industry, it's not just a buzzword that we throw around. It's actually the cornerstone of building a thriving business, because a supportive and inclusive culture will make your team feel valued and respected. When they're happy, they're more likely to stay. And of course, that reduces your staff turnover and the costs associated with hiring and training new staff constantly. And engaged employees, engaged team members are far more productive, and they will deliver a higher quality service. And having a really nice positive culture will encourage them to work better as a team. Employees will be more supportive of each other and they'll collaborate more effectively. And it becomes a magnet for the best people, because prospective team members will be looking for somewhere where they feel they can thrive and be valued. And they might not have had that where they've worked before. So making your business attractive to them by having that strong, positive culture will become a real magnet, and it will really set you apart from your competitors in the cleaning industry who are recruiting, but also the care industry, the hospitality industry, all those sorts of industries that we're actually competing with. If we can make our environment a really great place to work, then we will attract the best people. And of course, happy employees leads to happy customers. When your team is motivated and engaged, it reflects in their interactions with clients and in their work, leading to higher customer satisfaction and loyalty, as well as higher team satisfaction and loyalty. So investing in a positive team culture isn't just about creating a nice place to work, although that's a nice thing and a good thing to do. It's a strategic move that drives your cleaning business toward long-term success. So think of this as an actual strategy that you're going to put in place in your business. So quick question before I carry on. What's your current team culture like? Now, be honest with yourself right now, because this is about facing up to what isn't working and then putting things in place to improve it. You're watching a video, it's a safe space, you can be honest with yourself. So maybe you're at number 1. I don't think many people will be there, but maybe your team culture is amazing. Your team are all motivated and happy, fantastic. Maybe you can deliver the masterclass. Most of us will be at 2, 3 or 4. Pretty good, but room for improvement. Maybe it's a bit hit and miss. You've got some staff that are engaged and they really buy into the team culture. Others, maybe not so much. Maybe you've got a bad apple who's in danger of infecting the rest of the barrel, if you like. Maybe you're really struggling. You've got high staff turnover and morale issues. Wherever you're at, this is personal to you and your business, but I'm hopefully going to share a few things that you can change and work on that will really help you improve things. So no matter where you are on those 4 things, you'll get some new ideas and some things that you can change from the masterclass. And firstly, you need to understand that while you can usually teach them how to clean, attitude and values are qualities that define how they will approach their work and how they will interact with others. So it's really crucial that you attract and hire people whose personal values align with your company's culture, because a great attitude, reliability and a good work ethic are, in my opinion, far more important than experience. And it starts with your job adverts. Now, I'm not going to go into much detail on that in this masterclass, as there are others in the training library on creating job adverts and attracting the right people to your business. But let's look at the traits of a great cleaner instead, because sometimes that's not something that we consider in any great detail. Usually our list is we want them to have a pulse, we want them to drive a car, and we want them to be reliable, and everything else we don't always think about. And sometimes when we're marketing or even interviewing or even dealing with our current team, we're not actually acknowledging that there's a lot more to it than that. So here's my list of what I believe makes a great cleaner. Yours will probably be similar. You might have things that you would add to it or that you might take away, but it gives you a really good grounding, I hope, for what is a great cleaner, and maybe starts you thinking about how you're advertising for cleaners. Are you actually asking for these things, or are you asking somebody to come and clean toilets and you just want them to be reliable and have a car? Think about these values that you need from a great cleaner, because this is all about weaving this in so that you can actually attract them. So for me, it usually starts with a strong work ethic, because they'll not just approach their cleaning with diligence and commitment, making sure that every job is completed to the highest standards, but they'll also be more reliable, which can be a big issue in our industry, can't it? So trying to weed out those ones that don't have the strong work ethic can make a huge difference, not just to your cleaning standards, but to reliability, which is such a big issue, or can be such a big issue. And of course, cleaning is a physically demanding job. So physical fitness is, of course, a key attribute of a great cleaner. They need to be able to bend and stretch and reach and move around effectively. Cleaning can also vary quite widely depending on the home or the building that they're cleaning, and also depending on specific clients' needs. We also know that the schedule might change regularly. In fact, sometimes it can change hourly. So someone who's adaptable and flexible is also really important to us, isn't it, in terms of finding a great cleaner. And our clients often give cleaners access to personal and sensitive spaces. So, of course, being trustworthy is essential. That assures clients that their belongings and privacy will be respected at all times. And good communication skills. That allows cleaners to understand client expectations, but also provide updates and address any issues promptly, as well as helping communication with you and with other team members. And an organised cleaner can manage their tasks, their tools and their time efficiently, leading to a much more streamlined cleaning. Plus, they're less likely to leave things behind, the lost mop holes or the cleaning products left in the bathroom because they're working a little bit chaotically and not keeping everything together and organised. And also, of course, an organised cleaner is less likely to miss things. And we need them to have a real commitment to quality and to really take pride in their work. And finally, attention to detail. Quite often we will see this in job adverts, but actually, what does it really mean? Because I don't think you can necessarily teach attention to detail, but you need somebody that notices things, somebody who's observant. So a good eye for detail means that things don't get overlooked. There is nothing more annoying than a cleaner that doesn't look up, look down, into corners, behind or under things. They'll literally just look straight ahead and that's all they will clean and focus on. You need somebody with good observation skills in order for them to actually even come close to having attention to detail. Now, let's put this hiring on attitude, not skills, into practice. I'm going to share 3 candidates with you. Based on the traits I've just shared, I'd like you to consider which candidate you would hire and why. So firstly, meet Jane. She's got 5 years experience. She's known for punctuality. She has a great attendance record, but she has had conflicts with team members in the past. So that's Jane. What do you think of her? Now meet Emma. She's brand new to the industry, no experience whatsoever. You don't even know at this point whether she's ever cleaned anything before. But she has great enthusiasm. She's demonstrated in your interview process that she has good attention to detail, and from her previous employer she's got a positive reference regarding her ability to work in a team. Then we've got Susie, our final candidate. She's got 2 years experience, good experience. She's reliable. She prefers working alone, and she has just average communication skills. So which one would you hire? We've got Jane with lots of experience, reliable, but potential team issues. Emma, no experience, but a great attitude and a good team player. Or Susie, a great worker, happy working solo, but maybe not the best communicator. Now, it was interesting because when I did this masterclass live, most people picked Emma. Some people picked Emma and Susie. Nobody picked Jane. Now, the reality is actually all 3 of them could be good workers for the right business, because this exercise is to help you look beyond experience, but also to look at how the candidate's values and traits align with your company culture. So if all your team works solo, then Jane could actually be a good option because she's got loads of experience, she's completely reliable, and if she's not working with other team members, she might not cause issues with the team. Now, it might be that she's not very good at taking instruction, which could potentially cause issues. But until you assess her further, you don't know for sure that she's actually not a good fit for your business if all your cleaning team are working solo. If you have a great training program, then Emma could be a good option. She might struggle a little bit with having less experience, that she might not have some of the life skills that when she comes across a challenge in a client's house, she might know what to do. So, for instance, if an alarm's going off, she might panic. But with a good training program and maybe a buddy system, which we're going to talk about shortly, she could be a good option. And then Susie, our final candidate, if your clients are always out, then actually somebody with that good experience, who's reliable, happy working solo, but maybe not the best communicator, it won't matter too much if your clients are always out and your team works solo. So it's really about which one is a good fit for your business rather than none of them being a good fit for anybody. So actually, you could potentially hire all 3 of them, and all 3 of them might be amazing, but it really depends on your company culture and how you can fit them in and how they're going to align with your business, because all of our businesses are slightly different and we work in slightly different ways. But hopefully that gives you an idea of how you can start to look at over and above their experience. But how do you actually assess their values and traits before they join you? Well, of course, it starts with the job adverts, making sure your job adverts outline the values and traits you're looking for, and making sure your job adverts don't just focus on the task they'll be carrying out. But there are also some clever questions you can ask at interview that will help you better assess whether they're a good fit for your business. And here's some examples for you. And a couple of my favourites are, what do you enjoy most about cleaning, and what qualities do you think are important for a great cleaner to have? But these are all good examples of the sorts of questions you can ask to assess their values and also bring out any red flags that may be lurking. So, for instance, the what do you enjoy most about cleaning one, if instead you said, do you like cleaning? Well, they're going to answer yes. Although having said that, I did once interview somebody in their home and their first thing they said when I arrived was, excuse the mess, I hate cleaning. But normally they're not going to tell you that they don't like cleaning. So asking a really closed question like, do you like cleaning or do you love cleaning? You're just going to get a yes. But if you actually ask them what they enjoy most about cleaning, you're going to get a little bit more information, and you'll be able to see whether they're bluffing or not when they say they love cleaning, because it will come out from that question. And what qualities do they think are important for a great cleaner to have, again, will give you an idea of what they feel is important about the job. So you can dig a little bit deeper. And I wouldn't suggest that you ask all of these questions at an interview. I would suggest that you pick maybe 3 or 4 that you then use regularly. And that will give you some consistency in terms of how you're vetting your candidates, and you will learn more and how the conversation can evolve out of those 3 or 4 questions as you use them more often. But the idea here is you're trying to assess what they value and what they will value about the role, and whether they're a good fit for the culture you either have or that you're trying to create within your cleaning business. So hopefully that's been helpful, some nice interview questions that you can add into your process to get the most information about those candidates, but in a kind of smart way. So now let's look at 6 key strategies that you can use to create an environment where your cleaning team feels valued, motivated and connected. This is all about creating a great workplace. And these 6 things will lay the foundation for a much more positive and supportive place for people to work, which, along with attracting and then assessing the right candidates to make sure they're a good fit, which we've just discussed, this will be the key to creating and then retaining this team of real rock stars, these 6 key strategies. And it starts with a strong onboarding process. It's more than just an introduction to the business. It's about integrating them into your team culture and setting them up for success. Of course, you need to sort the practical stuff like paperwork, uniform, etc. as part of their induction, but onboarding is about providing them with a thorough understanding of your company's values and the team culture they're joining. At this stage, it's all about how do we do things here. In my business, I call it our rules of the game. And I don't mean how they book a holiday. I mean things like we are honest, we go the extra mile, we have fun, we support and respect each other. Our whole company culture is built on our rules of the game, and they're shared and used right at the start, plus throughout their time with us. This feeds into everything we do. If you think of it a little bit like a football team, they have rules of the game, don't they? And that will be to show commitment, to work hard, to run for the ball, to help your teammates. That's the rules of the game. That's not the offside rule. That's not how this happens, how you book holiday, how you notify me if you can't come into work that day. This is how we work, how we do things on a daily basis. Then, of course, they're going to need their actual cleaning training, aren't they? Enabling them to perform their duties confidently. And I recommend, if you haven't already done it, that you look out for the Train the Trainer workshops, where we run them every few months, and they are going to transform your practical cleaning training completely. Then the last stage of onboarding is usually to pair them with experienced cleaners who can help them get up to speed quickly, but also give them a sense of belonging and highlight where they fit in the team. Now, this might be you, or it might be someone else in your team, but it's an important part of the onboarding process. So they have their basic training, the role-specific training, but then they have someone who's going to help them implement it on a longer-term basis. And the second stage of a great team starts with a clear understanding of their role and responsibilities. From the moment a new team member joins, they need to know exactly what their daily tasks are, how their performance will be evaluated, your standards for cleaning quality, professionalism and customer service. You could go through their job description as part of their induction, provide a staff handbook that outlines your expectations, and even show them real life examples of what a great job looks like. Your cleaners need to know not just what to do, but how well it should be done. They should understand the difference between an average clean and an exceptional clean, and also how to handle customer interactions professionally, what to do if they face a challenge during their day, such as an alarm going off or a difficult customer. And one of the biggest challenges in a cleaning business is ensuring every client gets the same high standard every time, no matter who does the job. And having standard operating procedures, or SOPs, is key here to ensure your team understand what's expected and to ensure consistency across your team. SOPs are simple step-by-step guides that tell your team the correct order to clean a house, what cleaning products and equipment to use, how to handle specific situations, for example pets, alarm codes, etc. And checklists can be really useful for getting the message across on how cleans should be carried out, in what order. You can even use photos of before and after for different tasks to make them easier to follow. New trainees can use them as a reference guide and to tick things off perhaps. But when retraining, checklists can also be useful tools too. They can also be used for ongoing cleaning and checking on your team, but I wouldn't make them too long or too detailed, because what will then happen is your team just literally use it as a tick list and they're not really thinking about whether they've actually carried out the task or not. I am a firm believer that if you don't tell people what they can expect, and what you expect, then be prepared for misunderstandings and disappointment. And another skill is learning to review their performance and give constructive feedback. It's an incredibly important skill for you as a business owner. Your cleaners should always know how they're doing. They should know what they're excelling at and where they need to improve. So give immediate praise when you see great work. And if it's not quite at the standard you expect, instead of saying this wasn't cleaned properly, i.e. you missed a bit, say something like, you've done a great job of that bathroom. There were just a couple of things that if those were done would make it a really amazing job. Let's go over those together now. Another way to use feedback constructively is to say, I love how you did the bathroom. Really great job. You nailed that. The kitchen worktop still got some crumbs on it. So let's quickly go over an easy way to check for that. And we would show them that you can feel the crumbs on the worktop. And you could do that in a bathroom as well. Feel round the bath. You can just feel that it needs a little bit of extra cleaning. Make it about improvement, not criticism or blame. And of course, if you log this feedback, then you can see their growth and improvement over time and feed that back to them as well. Great job on the kitchen today. Honestly, you've really got it nailed now. Well done. There are also lots of ways to track their performance that you can use to monitor their improvement or manage any issues. So I recommend on a weekly basis you run a scorecard based on their attendance, their client feedback, results of quality checks, their teamwork and their attitude, and use a scoring system 1 to 5. So 5 being excellent, 4 very good, 3 satisfactory, 2 needs improvement or 1 is poor. And a score of 3 or below should trigger a training session to improve in the first instance. And for me, it always should trigger a training session first. We always assume that it's a skill issue rather than an attitude issue at this point. And of course, if they're getting regular 4s and 5s, that might bring rewards, which we'll come on to shortly. But also consistent 1s or 2s might mean that an improvement plan is needed, or even disciplinary procedures. So if you've already tried the retraining route and there's still an issue, then actually maybe we do have an attitude issue that needs to be addressed rather than a skill shortage issue. So these weekly scorecards, and they're a really good system for you measuring your team's performance and how they're improving or not over time. And that performance tracking can also lead really nicely into the next strategy, which is introducing incentives and recognition. So firstly, small gestures such as personally acknowledging a job well done or expressing gratitude, saying thank you, can make employees feel valued in a really easy and quick way for you to deliver, and it should be as immediate as possible. You can also acknowledge publicly by highlighting individual or team achievements during meetings, in business communications, whether that's team WhatsApp or team Facebook groups or a team newsletter, or even on your business social media as part of your marketing or in client newsletters. And acknowledging publicly serves 3 purposes because, first of all, it's really nice you're rewarding the team publicly and thanking the team publicly. Secondly, especially on social media, potential rock stars might be watching, and they're going to see that you actually take time to thank your team and publicly acknowledge what a great job they're doing. So that makes you as an employer a much more attractive workplace for them to join. So it's going to attract more rock stars to your team. And also in terms of clients, most clients want to employ a cleaning service that looks after its team. So them seeing that sort of thing is going to really help in terms of bringing new clients on. And you could just do simple things like give a handwritten note or a thank you card, a box of chocolates or a bunch of flowers for somebody that's gone over and above or just done a fantastic job and you just want to acknowledge it. You could also recognise your top performers with awards or certificates for things like Employee of the Month or maybe even at annual awards parties. And we have an Employee of the Month and they each receive a gift card and a thank you note, one person every month, and it also gets announced publicly on our Facebook page and then shared into our team private Facebook group as well. And we also have annual bonuses, which are all based on those weekly scorecards that we keep consistently throughout the year, and their bonus is based on the results on those scorecards, so it keeps them motivated throughout the year. And these incentives can really motivate employees to maintain high standards as well. For example, you could give a bonus for 3 months of perfect attendance, or for referring a new employee to the business who stays 3 months or 6 months or more. Or maybe they've had 3 months of consistent 4 and 5 scores on their weekly score sheets. And these things don't have to be monetary. You can reward people in different ways. You could think a little bit differently. Maybe give them an early finish on Friday, or maybe treat them to getting their nails done. Whatever you think would be appropriate for your business and for your team, you can think a little bit outside the box than just giving them some cash or a voucher. There's lots of ways you can reward your team for individual achievements. Then the fourth stage is all about creating a positive work environment. You need to ensure that your company culture is about being fair and respectful, about promoting equality and respect, and ensuring everyone feels included and appreciated. You'll want to encourage open communication and ensure that you are really approachable and responsive to their concerns so they feel valued and listened to. Maybe you could plan regular team building exercises that are fun and engaging. This is particularly important if your team are working solo, but it's important for all teams, no matter how they work on a daily basis. Maybe escape rooms, they can be quite good fun. Maybe you could organise a family sports day on a Sunday afternoon, or do something together as a group, volunteering, or a charity fun run or something like that. They can be really good team building exercises. And if you don't want to host anything or organise something like that, you could host casual meetups like a coffee morning. Macmillan coffee mornings are great for this, because not only could you engage your team, but you could engage your clients in this as well, and of course be raising money for charity. So that's a really good team building exercise, but also for a really good cause. But you could just have a coffee with your team. You don't need to make it a big event. You could take them to lunch. I take my team out once a quarter for lunch, and we do it outside working hours. We don't work Mondays, so it's usually on a Monday, and it's always a really, really nice way to thank the team for all their hard work. We usually celebrate a few little things at the same time, and it's good fun, and it's really, really good for a bit of extra team building outside of our work hours. You could organise after work social events in the evening to build camaraderie. Be a little bit careful if you're doing that and it involves alcohol, because sometimes there can be challenges around that. But do whatever you think is going to be good for you and your team to strengthen those team bonds. And I also recommend that you support their growth by offering ongoing training. So maybe you could encourage them to complete the free online training with Django on Kosh, manual handling, etc. Or perhaps offer additional in-house training on the latest cleaning methods and techniques, or eco-friendly cleaning practices, whether that's you've introduced new eco-friendly cleaning products or actually more sustainable practices throughout the business. Could you offer customer service training or organisational time management training? These are really good options for additional training that are going to help their personal growth and also make them feel like there's more to it than what they're just doing, and that's all you expect of them. And of course, potentially you could be spotting extra talent in there that might be able to help you in other ways in the business. And when employees feel heard, they are more likely to engage and contribute, leading to better quality work and job satisfaction. So encouraging feedback through surveys, suggestion boxes, maybe one-to-one meetings, that can really help you gather insights that will not only make them feel heard, but also could be helpful in you making changes to make their work environment even more positive. So don't discount them as a resource for helping you improve the business. And of course, the fifth stage, creating a supportive environment, makes a huge difference to employee well-being and job satisfaction, and therefore your business results. Now, this isn't about crossing boundaries or bending over backwards to the detriment of you or the business, but some fairly simple things can make a big difference. As an example, could you introduce a buddy program for new starters that goes beyond their initial training? Now, I covered this a little bit in terms of stage one of the strong onboarding process, but it could be that you'll extend this, because this will help them integrate even better, and it will help them improve on their basic skills, picking up all those little tips and tricks that might not come up during their initial training. This can help take them from delivering a consistent but standard clean, which is what your training aims to deliver, to delivering an exceptional clean. And in our industry, we usually offer fairly flexible working anyway, but there are other ways to increase this. Maybe in your business, everyone gets their birthday off if it falls on a weekday, or you encourage them to book time off for nativity plays or school sports days. And you can do this by basically saying, I can see it's your birthday next week. Do you want to book the day off? Now, They're going to use their holiday. It's not going to cost you anything. But if it's the culture in your business, then it's a really good thing that actually, no, we don't work our birthday in our business. It's a really nice thing to do. And, around sort of November time, we always say to our team, have you got the dates for the nativity play yet? We want to make sure you don't miss it. Or have you got the dates for the school sports day yet? And sometimes we have to be a bit flexible around school sports day because it might get rained off and it gets changed. But that's okay, because that's what we're all about, is being a family-friendly, flexible business. Maybe you'd want to implement a wellness program. Now, that might mean providing professional external support, or it could just be a Friday afternoon coffee or a morning coffee at the office. And a nice coffee and a chat can go a long way in supporting your team. There are lots of ways you can start taking care of your team in a more rounded way than just the cleaning itself and supporting them to deliver a great clean. And we provide water for our team as an example. We have a fridge at the office. At any time, in case they forget their own bottles, they can grab a bottle of water out of the fridge to make sure they stay hydrated while they're working. Or they can grab a coffee and biscuits to take away in the morning or in the afternoon if they need a pick-me-up, or they can come and sit in the office and drink their coffee and eat a biscuit if they want to. And in the summer, when it's really hot, we deliver ice lollies, and at the beginning of winter, we always give them a driving tips sheet. It's just all part of our ethos of taking care of our team. And if they do have a birthday that week, obviously if they've got the day off, then we don't do it on the day of their birthday, but we make sure that there's a banner up and some balloons, a card and a small gift ready for them. We've even organised baby showers and gifts as well. So find reasons to celebrate with them. Another idea is work anniversaries. They've been with you 3 years. Celebrate it. Give them a card and a bunch of flowers. It will reap so many rewards for you as a business. And finally, leading by example is showing up as a leader who listens, supports and respects their team. Don't be afraid to step in when necessary to help out, showing them you're a hard-working member of the team. Don't be a martyr to the schedule, but don't be afraid to roll your sleeves up sometimes, because that shows that no task is beneath you and demonstrates your commitment to your team and the business. For example, when we do a quality check, we'll often give them a hand for 20 to 30 minutes, clean a bathroom maybe, or mop a couple of floors. Not just walk around with a clipboard giving them a score. This means the client potentially gets a better clean, the team member gets a slightly easier clean, and there's lots of goodwill around having a quality check rather than it being a scary experience, because when we do a quality check, we tend to give them a hand. And always be on time. Remember, lead by example. If you expect your team to adhere to dress codes, if you're out cleaning with your team for whatever reason, you need to adhere to those dress codes and be well groomed. You're setting a professional standard they can follow. And of course, you should consistently deliver high quality work and pay attention to the details. If you expect that from them, they should expect that from you, because your commitment to excellence will encourage the team to have the same commitment. Having resilience and being able to solve problems kind of goes along with being a business owner, but you also need to be a really positive member of your team. If you need a moan, do it outside of work. Do it with the DCBN team. Don't do it at work. As the business owner, you do not have the luxury of being able to have a moan at work. So if you need to, do it outside, not at work. You need to be always a positive member of your team, setting that example. And of course, make sure you reinforce safety in the workplace by always following best practice at all times. So do not stand on a chair. Use a mini step ladder. Whatever your procedures are in your business, you must follow them if you expect your team to. So lead by example is my final stage of creating a great work environment and hopefully helping you attract but also keep those absolute cleaning rock stars that you've attracted to your team. So hopefully that's given you some useful tips and insights into how to build that rockstar cleaning team. And I know it can be hard, but these small tweaks that you make to your business from our masterclasses all combine to make a big difference. So keep at it, use the training library and make those small changes to your business, because I guarantee it's going to be having an impact and growing exponentially almost. And I'm going to leave you with a quick 3-step action plan from this masterclass to hopefully boost you on your way a little bit and help you get more out of this masterclass. So 3 steps to your action plan. I want you to come up with 3 words that define your company culture and the team you want to attract. And then when you've come up with those 3 words, whether that's honesty, integrity, reliability, professionalism, communication, whatever your 3 words are, extra mile, 2 words, whatever those 3 words are, I want you to make sure that those 3 words are in every job advert. I want you to make sure they're weaved into the job adverts. Now, please bear in mind, I did say this wasn't about job adverts, but just one last tip about this. Don't put it that that's what you want, okay? So don't just put in there, I want an honest employee who's reliable with attention to detail, okay? What I want you to do is actually weave it into the advert so that you're attracting those people who are looking for those things as well. So you could say, we have an amazing team of professional cleaners who go out and deliver the highest quality service to our clients, and we're looking for superstars to join our team. Whatever your keywords are, if you can weave them in such a way that you're actually saying to the candidates, that's already in place in our business, that's how you're attracting them based on team culture, rather than actually saying, I want you to be this, this, and this. And then your second part of your action plan is to implement a system to recognise employee achievements, such as Team Member of the Month. If you're not already doing Team Member of the Month, then great, that would be the one I would recommend you implement. But actually, you could just implement the weekly scorecard as an example. But I would like you to start putting in place a system to recognise employee achievements. And then finally, organise some kind of team building activity, whether it's a team lunch, a coffee morning, a family event, a charity fun run, anything you want. It can be as small or as big as you like, whatever floats your boat, whatever you think will be fun for you and your team to do. So that's your 3 steps. 3 keywords that define your company culture, a system to recognise employee achievements, and organise a team building activity. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching.